world reactions to Hamas's response to Trump's Gaza plan. It seems that 2 years Israel's war with Gaza is coming to an end. It seems that deadly Israel's war with Gaza is coming to an end after Hamas's, whatever you call it, partial agreement or agreement with the Trump's 20-point formula to bring peace in Gaza Strip. Let's see what is the reaction of the world leaders, what the world leaders have to say about this war and what implications the Trump's 20-point formula for peace in Gaza. Hamas has partially accepted Donald Trump's 20-point plan to end Israel's war on Gaza. In this video, we'll talk how the global leaders, including a few mediators, have responded to Hamas's response. Many world leaders have expressed hope that the 2 years war will come to an end. Late on Friday, that is on 3rd September 2025, the Palestinian group said it was ready to release all remaining captives. Late on Friday, that is 3rd September 2025, the Palestinian group said it was ready to release all remaining captives that were held and hand over power to other Palestinians, but other elements of the proposal needed for the negotiations. It came as a shock to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu when Trump demanded Israel to immediately stop bombing Gaza because Hamas is ready for lasting peace. Netanyahu's office later announced that military was preparing for the immediate implementation of the first stage of the Trump plan for the release of all hostages. Israel continued to hold in cooperation with the US President to end the war in accordance with the principles set out by Israel. He also recalled some major sticking points remain. Hamas made no mention of disarming, a key demand from Israel which was included in Trump's plan. Well, that was very important because it came as a rude shock to the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. He didn't believe that Hamas will instantly agree, at least partially, to the 20-point formula proposed by Trump to bring peace in Gaza. Well, not only that, some major sticking points remain. Hamas made no mention of disarming. That is a key demand from Israel, which was included in Trump's plan. So Netanyahu didn't believe that Hamas will agree to this proposal, even though it is partially, because the main concern of the Israel's Prime Minister is that Hamas will leave all arms and ammunition. So there was no mention about it. Hamas never explicitly said that they are disarming themselves. Below is what some countries around the world have said. Let's see what the countries have said, what the world leaders. We started with Qatar. The Gulf nation, which has been central to negotiations on Gaza, has welcomed Hamas's announcement and expressed its support for the president, calling for an immediate ceasefire and release of hostages and to put an end to the bloodshed of Palestinians in the Gaza Strip. Egypt. Another key player, Egypt, said it hoped for a positive development and that it would work with Arab states, the US and the European countries to reach a permanent ceasefire in Gaza. Let's see what Turkey had to say. Opportunity for the immediate establishment of a ceasefire in Gaza. And the most important, Palestinian Authority. Let's see what they have to say. President Mahmoud Abbas, who welcomed the Hamas response and underscored critical next steps. I quote, "What matters to us now is an immediate commitment to a complete ceasefire, the release of all hostages and prisoners, the urgent delivery of humanitarian aid through UN, United Nations organizations, ensuring the prevention of or displacement or ammunition and the commencement of the reconstruction process." Pakistan says Hamas' response to Trump's plan is a welcome step. This must now result in an immediate ceasefire and to Palestinians suffering ensure hostages release and allow free flow of humanitarian aid. Israel must immediately stop its attacks, Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar said in a post on X. United Nations. Malaysia Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim called for the immediate release of Malaysian citizens. In a statement on X, he said it would take all lawful and legally grounded measures to hold Israel accountable. Israel was not only disregarding the basic rights of Palestinian people but has also trampled on the conscience of the global community, he said. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has called for the immediate release of the participants of the flotilla and confirmed that those detained include Nelson Mandela's grandson, Nkosi Sikelel' Mandela. The statement added, South Africa calls on Israel to ensure that the life-saving cargo transported by this flotilla reaches the people of Gaza, as the flotilla represents solidarity with Gaza, not confrontation with Israel. Colombia President Gustavo Petro announced on X that his government was expelling Israeli diplomats and cancelling Colombia's free trade agreement in light of Israel's actions. He said, Colombia must pursue all the appropriate demands, including through Israeli courts, to ensure the return of its citizens. Italy Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani told local media Israel had assured him there would be no violent actions against the flotilla. Italian unions separately called for a general strike on Friday to show their solidarity with the GSF and Gaza, following a strike in September by Union Sindacale debase and other protests at Italian ports. The country's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni said her government would do everything we can to ensure these people can return to Italy as soon as possible, but criticized the flotilla and subsequent protest organized by Italy's largest trade union in solidarity with activists as bringing no benefit to the Palestinian people. United Kingdom, the UK government has said that it is very concerned about Israel's interception of the flotilla and added that it is in touch with the families of a number of British nationals involved. The aid carried by the flotilla should be turned over to humanitarian organizations on the ground to be delivered safely into Gaza. Germany. The Foreign Ministry spokesperson has called on Israel to comply with their obligations under international law and to act with proportionality. Berlin added, I quote, "We also called for the protection of all those on board to be guaranteed. To our knowledge, this has been done." Spain. Madrid released a statement on Wednesday demanding the physical integrity and rights of Spanish citizens be respected and said its consular teams were monitoring the situation from Nicosia and Jerusalem. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez told reporters on the sidelines of the EU summit that his government was extending diplomatic protection to all Spanish citizens aboard the flotilla. Greece issued a joint statement with Italy earlier this week calling for Israel to ensure the safety and security of the participants and to allow for all consular protection measures. Ireland. Irish President Michael said Israel was preventing essential aid from reaching Gaza. The safety and protection of those involved in this humanitarian exercise is a concern for all of us and all of the nations from which the people come, he said in a statement. Well, if you see all the comments of the world leaders and from different parts of the world, right from Southeast Asia to Asian countries to European countries, they just have one thing, a good hope. The peace will prevail in Gaza. If the Hamas agrees to all the points proposed by the President of the United States, Donald Trump, for peace in Gaza, there is nothing like that. All the countries hope for a positive response from Hamas, and all the people in Hamas from different parts of the world will be safe and all the hostages will be released safe, and there should be a lot of humanitarian aid for the people of Gaza who have been suffering for the last 2 years, and more than 70,000 people have been killed in this war for no fault of this. Well, my take here, a good sense should prevail. The war has no solution for anything. The war brings only destruction, only death. War brings death. Already so many people have died in this war, both Israelis as well as Palestinians. Hopefully now, in few days, we'll get a positive response and peace in Gaza. Thank you for your time and trust. Thank you for watching. Till we meet next time, it's goodbye. Don't forget to share, subscribe and like our videos. Thank you guys.